We just received the first order of stuff. Tools are coming from MIT store. We already placed a $2,000 hardware order, which was crazy. And now we're getting the insulation. What insulation are we going with? We got a sound deadening peel and stick thing that normally you use for sound deadening only, but it also has a thermal shield, which will be the first layer. And apparently I learned that air is a very good way to insulate. So instead of going the typical bat insulation that you see many vanlife people do, I'm just gonna have a first layer of thermal and noise reduction that I'm just gonna peel and stick over the metal. Then we're gonna use a layer of this aluminum with air bubbles, which has 2 layers of insulating aluminum to just protect from heat changes, and the air in the middle separating these 2 layers on top of this. Apparently you get a very similar R value to the normal bat insulation, and you have separated layers that are not connected, and not being connected air acts as another layer of insulation. That's the concept, then we're gonna see whether it works or not. Here you see me removing the floor that was in the van when I first bought it. This thing is heavy as hell, but I'm gonna reuse it because it's perfectly cut to shape and it's nice and sturdy. As you can see, we just removed this panel, which we're gonna retain because this is in perfect shape and it's nice and thick. So this will provide something very sturdy for the floors and everything to screw on, because it's so perfectly shaped that theoretically I wouldn't even have to screw it. The way it had to come out was already very hard. Now, we have a few issues though. We have a few holes from the ramp that we removed already. So I'm gonna caulk these a little bit just to avoid to get some water in it. And of course the insulation will also help out because it's also anti-water, but as an extra precaution. Another thing is we have to clean up a little bit for the peel and stick thing to stick properly. And I gotta say, for being a 7, 8, actually 10-year van, I was surprised. The floor looks amazing for what it is. It's pretty cool. I mean, the more I look into it, the more I think this was a proper purchase. So let's get to it. So step number 1 here, guys, is to put some silicone and close the holes you saw me doing in the back, and then to clean up because the peel and stick needs to stick to some kind of surface. So you see me cleaning, putting some degreaser, waiting it for dry, and then it all leads to the next step, which is the peel and stick. I did not peel the whole thing, I did it piece by piece, because if you peel the whole thing and you don't install it correctly, it will be a nightmare to unpeel the whole thing. So piece by piece, nice and slow, nice and relaxed, unroll it, put it in, stick it in, align it, and you should be good. So guys, we just insulated the floor disc. Now I can put this guy back on and then close everything once again, which will be very tricky, but we're gonna give it a try and let's see what happens. Reinstalling this was easy. I simply put it back in and the original hinges that were holding it still work. Here it's like a puzzle piece. I just had to slap it in, use the hammer, and boom, it was done. And just like this, we have an insulated floor, and now I can go on with all of the walls, which will be a different video. But this is the main thing I wanted to do, because now I can work on that. I can work on the structure. I can even work on part of the plumbing and the electrical. This was the main thing I wanted to do. I can also technically already do the floors and just cover them, protect them, which puts me way ahead where I want to be. So guys, we don't have a lot of lighting right now. I close it because it's bloody cold in here, but I want to show you something. First of all, windows. I was lucky, I got windows that fit exactly here. I saw a couple of vanlife people making bigger windows, which makes sense for lighting. But I want this camper van to remain subtle. I want this almost to still look like a work van, and I hate cutting metal. So I was like, let me put some discrete windows. I got 2, one here and one here, that were also extremely cheap. They were around $120 each. I might have to do some adjustments, but they should definitely work out. They would definitely fit within the 2 studs, which makes cutting and organizing much easier, and I'm happy with that. With that said, it means that I will have to insulate way more panels. So what you will see me do now is just starting to insulate all these flat panels, and then after I put the studs, I finish insulating all the rest. Same thing with the same material we used for the floor. pretty much the same technique as the floors. In this case, I didn't have to be as perfect because this whole part will be covered. The most important thing is coverage. I want to leave as little material and metal as exposed as possible. Now I mostly insulated all the walls. I'm still missing the ceiling. I will have to order another 4-roll probably. But for now, we're in a position where I can start working on studs and start working also on the electrical system, at least running all the cords and everything. So this closes the video of today. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. If you have a question about it, please leave it down here. And I'll see you on the next video.